Have you ever been frustrated because the Noid?
Milled 20 cards off grass.
The Noid loves?
Mill cards.
Oh,
Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
we avoid the Noid.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What Is This Deck? And what is this deck, Colin?
Infernoid, Lightsworn, Kaijus.
Ooh, Infernoid, Kaijus.
So a little about this deck. See this? This is usually like, that's your graveyard right there. It's great. Probably didn't even pick up on the camera. So, yeah, it's Infernoids. It's been a deck of mine I've really enjoyed, and I just wanted to build a deck around it, so I did. It performs pretty well. I had to make some random changes due to the ban list, but other than that, let's just get into it.
Sounds good.
Start off 3 Decatron. This card's the nuts. It's a level 1. When it's normal or special summoned, it's also one of the very few normal summons in this deck. You can send any Infernoid from deck to graveyard. It gets its level and its effect. It's wonderful because the big ones have like monster negates or spell or trap negates. They're not negate and destroys, they're negate and banishes, which are pretty cool. Infernoid Entra is the next level. It has a 2000 defense. That's pretty much all you ever use it for. The gimmick on Infernoids is you can special summon them by banishing themselves from hand or graveyard. Special summon themselves from hand or graveyard, but if it's level 4 or lower, you can only do it from hand. But if it's 5 or higher, you can do it from grave as well. So you pretty much just special summon this in defense mode, and what it does is like a once per turn, target a card on the field and return to hand. It's good to get rid of annoying things, plus it's 2000 butt, so it's not immediately difficult, or not immediately easy to get over. Harmondic's kind of the same thing, except for he's a monster popper. When he destroys when he ends up destroying a monster, though, he can't attack the rest of the turn, but that's typically fine because you just tribute him off or use him as link material. Next ones are level 4, Petrulia. It is an MST that also can't attack when it does it, but we play 3 of it because it's a level 4, and we have a level 4 tuner in here. That's a Lightsworn. You can make your level 8 play, aka just make Omega. Or I guess you can make a rank 4 play if you want. That might actually be better. We play Infernoid Jet because we play Infernoid Feast, which is just a trap later on, but he's not very good. It's like when he attacks, your opponent has to banish a card from their extra deck, but they get to choose. He's not very good. Yeah. Next up is level 7. If he destroys a monster, if he destroys a monster on the field, and it's the end of the battle phase, he can banish 1 card on the field. It's a mandatory effect. However, if your opponent has something like really annoying you can't get rid of, it's non-targeting banishing, so you always just do that.
It's not bad.
We play 2 of him because he's pretty good. 1 of the Atondel. If he destroys a monster, you just attack again. 2800 is nothing to scoff at. Plus, he's pretty easy to make. You just get to 2 Infernoids, or banish them from hand or graveyard. Sorry, I don't know why I can't speak today. 2 Infernoid Divide. Now, level 9 and 10 Infernoids. I'll just get them both out. Divide and 2 Anunku. They are nutty. They're the first ones that actually have a defense outside of Decatron. They take 3 cards to banish, but their effects are really good. When Divide is, or Deviati, that's how people pronounce it. When he comes out, he is a heavy storm for everything but void speller traps. And Anunku is a dark hole for everything but himself. And they also have a tribute a monster to negate effect, but it's for the opposite. So since he destroyed spell and traps, you can tribute a monster to negate and banish a monster who activated their monster effect. Same with Anunku, but it's a spell or trap. So they're pretty useful. Also, they have huge bodies, and they don't lose their attack if they use their effect, which is awesome. So that's it for the Infernoids. If anything, I might put Harmodic to 3 just because it is a monster popper, but it's all dependent on some things. We play 3 Wolf Lightsworn Beast. because it's a mill deck. It's a 60 card deck, I should have mentioned. So you'll see a certain card soon. When he's sent to graveyard, he special summons himself. It's mandatory and it's pretty good. Since he's 2100 and a level 4, which is all useful. We play 3 Ride in Hand of the Lightsworn. Once per turn, you can use them to mill 2 cards. And during the end phase, you also mill 2 cards. Pretty much a mill 4 each turn. Which can be good because you can hit a wolf and just make a level 8 synchro or a rank 4. And for our last Lightsworn, we play Lumina Lightsworn Summoner. Sometimes you mill everything preemptively and you don't really want that. Like you could activate Charge of the Light Brigade and accidentally mill like the Raidens you wanted. Just search Lumina and then you can get it back by a discard and it's pretty good. Plus you can make level 7 synchros, which is also nice. On to miscellaneous monsters. 3 Fairy Tale Snow. This thing shouldn't be at 3, but it is.
Sure.
If you don't know what it does, it's the Book of Moon, and it's very annoying. You just gotta look it up, man. You should. Most people already know them, so it's whatever. And we play Kaijus. Play Gameciel, Gadarla, Humongous, and Dogoran. Why we don't play Thunder King or Jizukiru is because due to the level restrictions of Infernoids, the monsters on the field, or on your side of the field, have to be 8 or lower to special summon themselves. And Jizukiru and Thunder King are higher than level 8, so they are no bueno. Dogoran is level 8 though. If it's level 8, it's perfectly fine. Anything else though, not so good. And yeah, you just give them to your opponent. But also you can mill Kaiju Slumber and search them out the next turn, if you have a next turn anyways. On to spells, we got 3 Void Vanishment and 3 Void Imagination. Now what Vanishment does is you can discard a card to add any Void spell or trap card from deck to hand, except for another copy of itself or Nolan Void, which is called Muko now, so it doesn't even matter. This card's bananas because you can search Void Feast, which is another really good trap I'll get to later. And it's just because you can just set it and standby phase, activate it, and send Void Vanishment. It's pretty good. Also has another effect. If an Infernoid monster you control battles an opponent's monster, after damage calc you can send this to grave to banish both monsters. So there's something you just really can't get rid of, just send it.
It's pretty Gucci.
It is an effect though, it's not like a continuous thing. So take that as you will. And Void Imagination, it treats all Infernoid monsters on the field as level 1. But you only do half damage with them. And also if your opponent controls an extra deck, well, it kind of matters. You can fusion summon by sending this card to the graveyard. However, if your opponent has an extra deck monster and you don't, you can send up to 6 Infernoids from your deck to graveyard. This is, if you don't have grass, this is the other way to get Infernoids to grave. In order to get the fusion out though, you have to at minimum send one of the level 10 and one of the level 9, because those are 2 mandatory sends you have to send to make him. How many times can I say send?
I don't know.
Too many.
Make it a tally, please.
Please. Play 3 Charge of the Light Brigade, searches your Lightsworns and all, searches your Lightsworns, mills 3. It's pretty good. And 3 Solar Recharge. If you have a dead wolf in hand or just something you want to get rid of, it lets you draw 2 and then mill 2. Honestly, that's really good.
True.
On to more spells. 3 Left Arm Offering. This card's a bit pricey right now. Banish your whole hand, search any spell, but you can't set the turn you activate it, which is not that big of a deal. And that grass looks greener. You already know what this card does. It's the playmaker of this game. If your opponent goes 2 nuts and you somehow open this, that's pretty much that's game over for them, unless they have Ash. Oh yeah, by the way, if they hit Ash on this or this, you lose. Just scoop.
Sure.
It's over. That's why I don't really bring it to tournament. It's also a card you don't really want to Ash, but in this deck it's fine. 3 Pot of Desires. Most people play 2 in their 40 card deck. This is a 60 card deck. We play 3. I've only been able to resolve 2 in a game once, because I never seem to get the 3rd one. But it's rough if you have to actually use all 3. But I really like Pot of Desires. It just kits you the pieces you need, surprisingly. 2 Twin Twisters. Back row's kind of gross. and sometimes we can't always make a Deviati, so it's just good removal. Cosmic Cyclone will also be good, but Twin Twisters lets you discard something. It could be like a wolf or a Fairy Tale Snow. Board wipes, we got a Kaiju Slumber, Dark Hole, Raigeki. We don't like cards. Sorry about the noise in the background. So, sorry, I lost my leg, but now we're back. And back given those deck profiles. We got 5 cards left on the deck. Foolish Burial, it can be a starter if you need to get a certain Infernoid Engrave, or you just want to send Wolf for fun. Yeah, you can do that. 1 for 1. So Decatron, you honestly don't really want to draw. And if you do, you don't want to draw more than one of it, because it makes Void Feast a little more tricky to use to its full power, but that's alright. I mean, it's a special summon. You can send whatever you need to. Also, did I mention Decatron's a tuner?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, Decatron is a tuner. So you can adjust the level as need be, send whatever you like, and then synchro for whatever you need. And the last spell we play is Reasoning. This card's good, but back when I played Max C, before it was banned, it wasn't as good, because I could hit the Max C and just have a level 2 500 attack beat stick on the field. But yeah, Reasoning is just really good. Lets you get a free special summon or just mill everything. And one more thing to note about Reasoning. Since none of the Infernoids except Decatron could be normal summoned or special summoned, or normal summoned or set, this, if it hits an Infernoid that isn't Decatron, it just keeps going.
It's pretty good.
Traps, we play 2. Void Feast, I only play 1. I've been heavily considering playing more, because it's just too good of a card to pass up. You send another Void spell or trap card from hand or face up from field to grave, and you can special summon up to 3 Infernoids from your deck, whose levels equal exactly 8, ignoring their summoning conditions. Which is good, because you get Jet and 2 Decatrons out, and then the Decatrons you send 1 of level 9, 1 of level 10. You do this on your opponent's turn, you have a monster and a spell and trap negation. Sometimes you're forced, they forced the bait, but it's really good. But this can also be ashed.
Rip.
There's a lot of things in the deck that can just be ashed, and I hate it. And last card we play Solemn Judgment. I picked this over Monster Reborn because I was just thinking about it. It's like, other than, I guess, some Lightsworn that I need, or a, I guess I could bring a Kaiju back, or a something my opponent has for link fodder reasons. I don't see a real point in playing Monster Reborn. You might disagree with me, and that's fine. You can play Monster Reborn over this. This thing negates anything but monster effects. I don't know. And spell and trap card effects, not their activations. But it hits pretty much everything you need, so I don't see the issue with it, if there is any. On to extra deck, we play 1 of the fusion, and 3 Natis are fusions. So he has a bunch of effects, depending on how many Infernoid monsters you run, or you send off of the fusion card's effect, because you can, it's a Nunku, Deviati, and 1 or more Infernoid monsters, and depending on how many you send, he gets more effects. So if you send 3, each player has to send 3 cards from their extra deck to graveyard. You send these, because it's a targeted card, pop it. It's really good. Just send all 3. And you can mask at least 2 of them, so it's usually really good. If it's 5 or more, you send top 3 cards from deck to graveyard. If it's 8 or more, you take 3 of your, each player takes 3 of their banished cards and put them back into their graveyard, so you pretty much just restock up for later. And 10 or more is each player sends their entire hand to the graveyard. I've never hit the 10 one, and I don't really want to, because what if my opponent's playing Burning Abyss?
It's true.
What if their Dark World doesn't matter because it says discard, this says send. Semantics, it's great. But yeah, usually on average I hit 7. Sometimes I hit 8, and 8 can be nice, because Fairy Tale Snow, you can also put important cards back. It doesn't say what kind of card needs to be put back, so you can put back like a banished Kaiju Slumber or whatever if you need to get a search again. Onto the synchros. I think this is wrong because before doing this I completely forgot. what all the extra deck had. So Black Rose, Michael, and Omega. This sounds right. Black Rose, it's a board nuke, no questions asked. Michael is a spot banishment removal, which is always really good. You have to pay 1,000, which can kind of suck, especially if you're playing Judgment, but it's usually not too bad. And Omega is God.
True.
He's just really good. He does everything the deck likes. Onto the XCs. Minerva, I'm glad she came out. It's like mill 3, draw a card for each Lightsworn you hit. You're usually never drawing, but sometimes you can, and it can be cheeky. But you're just trying to mill 3. And when she's if she's in my possession and she is destroyed by battle or card effects, I can mill 3 and then destroy cards on the field up to the amount I milled. Which is always good, because if you strike the summon, I still get to mill 3. And I will always do it. Unless I'm like at 2 cards left in deck, which never happens. Baguska. This card's stupid. It shouldn't exist, but it does, so we play it. I don't want to explain it anymore. Tornado Dragon, just in case you have just bad back row removal that we need to get rid of. Or bad back row removal, just bad back row. And the Utopia package. Some people like Abyss Dweller and shit like that. I'm good. I like my Lightning. Just because of my friend group. It's just good to get rid of things you don't like.
It's true.
And for the Link monsters, Underclock Taker. This card should have been a super. I don't understand it. It's just a really good Link monster. I used to play Proxy Dragon, but this is just a better. Proxy Dragon. Decode Talker. It works. I was thinking about playing the Lightsworn Link, but honestly, it's not that good. Because in order to really summon it, you legitimately need Lumina, Raiden, and Wolf. And it's kind of hard to do, so it's not really worth it. Though its effect is good, so if you do want to play it instead of Decode, be my guest. But you can also play this. Borderload Dragons is probably one of the best Link monsters right now.
Yeah.
Link monsters I would recommend running in this, probably Saryuja. You can shuffle away like the dead. Like say you have wolves in hand, you don't want them there. But you also don't want them on bottom of deck. I guess you'd just rather have them in deck. It doesn't matter. Saryuja's good. Firewall's not that great. Cossack Magician can be good. But I like Borreload the most just because he's 3k that can steal my opponent's shit. That's always good. And that's my deck.
Awesome blossom. Well, any last words about this for people who want to build it?
Yeah, I would wait to see what all gets reprinted in that Kaiba collection, because if Left Arm is in there, I would get that. I would get the reprint, because I believe Left Arm right now is like $20 a pop.
Yeah.
It is kind of pricey. Also, if you are to buy grass, I would buy more than one, but I only have one, just in case it goes up to anything higher. Other than that, yeah, this deck's pretty much budgeted. Lightsworns have been reprinted for like a lot of times. Decatron, a couple of the Infernoids are kind of expensive, but it's not too big of a deal. And that's it.
Cool. Well, thanks for showing us. If you guys have any questions for Colin or comments, concerns, or just want to say hi, we will be there to answer your questions and say hi back.
He might, I won't.
Yeah, he probably won't. He'll just say fuck you. But well, thanks guys for watching. Like if you liked it. Sub if you want. I don't know. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.